Plantar fasciitis is an injury to the tough fibrous ligament that covers the bottom of the foot. It's responsible for absorbing shock and forces when we're standing and walking, and it is a super important part of the foot. It works together with the muscles to maintain stability of the foot through various flexible to rigid states, but that makes it vulnerable to injury when the foot is weak. So one of the things that we want to do in therapy is strengthen the bottom of the foot. Here are a few of my favorite ways to help get you started strengthening the bottom of your foot. Let's get right into it. We're gonna need a few things. If you don't have all these things, start with what you can, and you might consider making an investment because these are all super useful for other exercises and moves as well. First thing we're gonna need is some stretchy band like this. This is TheraBand, and we sell it by the mile here at the clinic. We're gonna use a towel or a washcloth like I have here. We're gonna use a wobble board. This one is made by Vallejo. You can see the contour of the bottom here is not too steep, so that makes this a relatively user-friendly wobble board. We're gonna use this AirX foam pad. This is probably the most optional purchase because you can just stand on a folded towel or blanket or even a pillow or two and get similar results. So muscles in the foot. We have muscles between our toes, along the bottom of the foot, and that control the ankle and attach to the midfoot here. And so for exercise, we're going to work a couple of different things. We're going to try to get all of the muscles firing through making some functional compound moves. We're also going to strengthen the ankle itself, and we're going to try to strengthen the toes themselves. So those are the three broad categories of things we're going to do. All right, so we're going to start with the band exercises first. For plantar fasciitis, there are basically three different ankle moves we're going to be doing. The first one is ankle eversion, also known as foot abduction. To do this, we're going to take a loop of band and place it over our toes. And I find that if I do this with shoes on, it grips the band a little bit easier. And with my heels a little bit apart, I'm going to apply outward pressure with the band to activate these muscles here. These are called the peroneal muscles. I'm going to slowly release and repeat. It's important when you do that you're not rolling your knees open like this. This is not the exercise. Your knees are going to stay in one place and you're isolating at your ankles. Here are a few variations. You can do this with your ankles dorsiflexed up towards you and then pull out. That way you can also plantar flex them away from you, pointing your toes and pressing to the outside. Do these to some muscle fatigue. The next one we're gonna do is the opposite motion. So if that's eversion, then we're going to do inversion or foot adduction. And the easiest way to do that is take your loop, put it around one foot, get your foot through the other, and right now I've got a strong force pulling my toes towards the floor. I'm going to resist that force. I like this position because I can really stabilize my knee and make sure my knee isn't helping. So we're just going to pull up and then slowly come down. I want to show you something. If I pop my shoe off, because of the forces involved in holding onto the band, my toes want to curl. So when you do this, be careful to keep your toes in neutral and fairly relaxed. And that's going to isolate this where we want, which is right up here through the midfoot and through the arch of the foot. The third exercise we're going to do with the band is something called plantar flexion, and that's just pushing the toes away. So I'm going to take the loop, hold my foot up like this, and then press, and I'm engaging my calf muscle right there. This is also one we can do in standing by coming up on the toes, just like that. If you're practicing this, try to practice without touching on something. That's going to help work on your balance as well. The next few we're going to use the wobble board for, and here's a trick for finding the right place to put your foot. Right where the logo is on this board, your sneakers or shoes are going to have a knot. Put that knot right over that logo, and that's going to center your foot in the right place on the board so you can get better balance. So from here, there's a number of different things we can do. We can take our opposite leg and point in different directions. I can take my hand and also point in different directions while I'm just working on keeping the board stable. For our next balance exercise, we're going to use this AirX mat, and this is super squishy, and for this I do like to take my shoes off. You can use your pillow or rolled up towel. Once you're balancing on this, that squish is just going to make your nervous system work harder to stabilize. And we're going to do similar moves, pointing your leg in different directions, working on your stability. For our last strength exercise, I'm going to use this washcloth. This is going on the floor, and I'm just going to try to start here at the edge and bunch it up with my foot. This exercise strengthens all those muscles, those layers of muscles on the bottom of our foot. And once you have it bunched up, you can try to grab the corners, and then you can unbunch it and start over. If you are looking for a great stretch for your plantar fascia, be sure to check out this video right here where I share a few of my favorite methods for stretching the ankle and foot if you have plantar fasciitis. Thank you so much for joining me. See you next time.